Hello, welcome to this late morning taste challenge. I had to do a double up today, just like Tuesday, due to scheduling issues, but won't have to do that too many more times this year. Might be too bright out there. Maybe I should close the window, but it's nice, that bright sunlight. Not too many more weeks, 3 more weeks of that scheduling changes. All right, but we have from 1923, Cutty Sark. This is the modern recipe, 80 proof. It used to be 86. Used to be aged, I think, 6 years. Now they give no age statement. You know how that goes. My friend David keeps saying they've watered down whiskey. They've watered down liquor. It's not aged like it used to be. I can't really argue against that. It's probably true. I just wasn't drinking it before the dumbed down time period. You know what I'm saying? So my only reference point is the bad old days, I guess. But I forgot to change the label. We're going to go up against a whiskey that I don't know when it debuted. I know it was bought out. I know it was, oh wait, thinking of something else. This came out in 1967. Excuse that. I do so many, I forget, lose track. This is Sir Malcolm Royal Club blended whiskey, Scotch whiskey. Blended Scotch, blended Irish, blended American, blended Canadian, blended Japanese, blended. Yeah, I'm going to do some straight bourbon. I'm going to review some single malt, all of that. Let's see. CS Cutty Sark. Make the little tags. That's the way I can do the blind taste test. Mix them up real nice. Can't tell them apart. Give a fair assessment. I think the Cutty Sark is so light in appearance, you'd have to mix them up, or you'd surely confuse them. But I'm going to see, because the Sir Malcolm is kind of light too. That kind of greenish gold that you get with these Scotch whiskeys and Budweiser for some reason with beer. All right. Now, one thing I want to look at later this week is, I'll do a solo review. What is a heavy liter bottle? Castillo, a liter, Castillo Gold, Castillo Gold. Whoa. Castillo Gold is produced by Rondi Castillo y Silla, Cantano, Puerto Rico. 351st day of 2018. That's when it was put in the bottle. 351. This was in late 2018. How long was it aged? I don't know. A year, probably. It's got the recipe on the back. Castillo and cola. 1 part Castillo Gold, 3 parts cola. Pour over ice in a tall glass. Garnish with a lime wedge. I will not do any of that. It's a Bacardi brand, okay? Now, I like this little finish on it. It's like glittery or something. It's got like some grit, like a sandpaper. Very fine, super fine grain. $6.99 a liter. No, that is not the normal price, all right? That was Discount Depot special. They're all gone now, I think, because, you know, people just scoop it up when they get these crazy prices out there. Now, but I'm going to review it. Will it be as good as the Bacardi Gold? I don't know. I did find out one thing, though, about the Castillo. It's a real brand, and it's really been around a long time, since 1914. I found out that the first first use of the copyright of Castillo was 1914. So when Bacardi came into Puerto Rico, they must have bought out the company and set up headquarters at that same place. The Castillo, you see, yeah. Castillo and Company, I guess that means, I don't know, I don't speak Spanish. So Cutty Sark from Edrington, I'm sorry. Ooh, Edrington Group. There's the Cutty Sark Reserve Prohibition version. Can't get it around here to my knowledge. There was a $250 bottle of Cutty Sark, some special super duper one. They don't even list on the website. We saw it at the World of Beverage. And John and Neely was like, I wouldn't mind trying that. I was like, yeah, would you pay $250? He was saying something like, not at this particular time. Not at this time, I wouldn't. I still want to get the Johnny Walker Blue Label. God, I don't want to pay that price, though. Okay, all right. People are saying he's doing Sir Malcolm. He's talking about Johnny Walker Blue Label. I know. All right. Then I got to eat lunch later. Oh, I got to eat lunch. All right. Not too much later, pretty soon. Okay, well, they're both that. Take my glasses off. I need glasses to see far away, not up close, because then it looks blurry. Okay. I don't even remember which is which already. I'm trying to drink it even, because that little bit of weight disbursement or just differential will tip it off sometimes. Well, they're both the same appearance. Light gold with the slight green tint. Do they add coloring to these? They're aged 3 years minimum, probably 3 years, but I don't think they do. I think if you put it in a barrel, even a used oak barrel, it would be that color. It would get a little gold too and just stay clear. Nah. But they could. I don't know. So Cutty Sark from 1923. Been sold in America since, I guess, 1933. And then the Sir Malcolm from 1967, and now a Sazerac brand. Popular in Louisiana. You can't get it in Kansas where the Whiskey Scout lives. So I wish I could get it, but I can't find it. And then John and Neely, same thing in Georgia. He said, I can't get it. But then on the other hand, they probably get a lot of stuff we can't get. Liquor distribution is kind of kaleidoscope in the United States. Same with beer and wine. Get something one place, can't get it another place. It's just a hit or miss proposition for many brands. I mean, you know, Johnny Walker, everybody's going to have that. Everybody's going to have Budweiser. Everybody's going to have barefoot wine, junk like that. But, you know, things like that. But I don't mean junk. I just mean things like that. But there's some items that are just so hit or miss. Okay. Well, I assume I'll be able to tell them apart. But then I'm not sure about that. Oh, it's so sweet. Sweet grain alcohol. Like, if you like, and I think a lot of people have a sweet tooth. It's kind of like a honey sweetness, though. But I guess it's sugar, you know. It's sugar. It's peat, malt. It's almost like a salt water here. Like, yeah, like the British Isles, Scotland near the coast. This one's the aroma of nothing. It's so vacant, so very vacant. Oh, it's not bad. It's just not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. I don't know how you would find this offensive. You could say, I find it non-existent. This I would go along with. Offensive? It's so denuded. I said this morning. It's so denuded. Oh, well, of course you can get some grain alcohol. You can get some background, and I mean background. Peat. But it's so faint. I guess if you let it breathe, it might, but you know, usually you understand, usually when you let it breathe, it'll dissipate. The aromas will dissipate, not build. It's a hard job to pull out aromas here. But I'm not pulling out any negatives, just nothingatives. Oh, yeah, cereal grain. You might be saying, you don't understand subtlety. I try to understand it, and I do understand it, but I'm not picking up much. Over here. Oh, it's all right. All right. Here. I'm so glad I'm doing scotch again. You might say to me, if you drank scotch every day, how long would it take you to get bored? Oh, about 50 years. There's almost a nutty and a fruity and a peppery note here. A pepper. You say pepper. Yeah. All right, pepper. Yeah, like a white pepper. I swear, I'm serious. Oh, it's got to be Cutty Sark. All right, I got to taste it now. Hey. All right. Yeah. There's the grain alcohol. The column still grain whiskey. Yeah. It's about 80% of the taste. Yeah. There's some doughy light bread, white barley oriented flavors from the 20% single malt. It's there. They describe it on the website. It's a pretty intricate, complex item. You say, but it's only about $14 a bottle. Sure, you're right. Still tastes pretty dang good. You say, but it's a blended Scotch whiskey. Only animals and scumbags drink that. Well, maybe, but I still think it tastes pretty good. Bricks Lens said, how do, Ronaroo? I'm drinking a Lagunitas Shutdown Ale. Cheers. Ooh, I love that beer. Ooh, I love that ale. Oh, I adored it, actually. GNJK said, I'm going to have to visit the liquor store today. I'm enticing people's enthusiasm. I got my federal income tax refund, and I got my state income tax refund. I did. Of course, I had to pay H&R Block 86 dollars to handle the, but they do a very good job on their online thing. I mean, it's pretty, it's like, it's worth the service, I guess. I used to fill out all my own taxes, never paid a dime for the fees years ago. Be writing them out, you know, by hand. They had no computerized. You'd be writing them out, send it in. No problem. Except once when I got a call from the IRS. It was a real call, wasn't one of those fake calls. I forgot to sign the form. It wasn't about, this is IRS. You forgot to do something on your form. You will be arrested immediately if you do not call this number and send your credit card number. Nothing like that. So I signed it. She said, we're going to mail it back to you. All you got to do is sign it and turn it back in, which I did, and there was no problem. All right. Joseph Sedberry says, do you like Mad Dog 2020? Mogan David 2020? When I was at Discount Depot, I thought about buying it, but then I had too many negative back memories of it. I didn't hate it. It just made my body smell like it for a day. Like when I was sweating, it smelled like MD 2020, Mogan David 2020. And to me, if it makes your whole insides turn into that smell, I don't know. Should you be drinking it? I did finish the 370. Was it a 375 or a 750? All right, I would revisit it. You say, wow, you're going to take a walk on the wild side with that stuff, eh? Yeah. Because, you know, Holly came from Miami, FLA. She hitchhiked her way across the USA. This one is just candy sugar. Oh, wee. First time I ever got drunk, I was 9. 9? Are you watching this? You shouldn't be watching this. And it was my dad's Night Train Express I snagged from the fridge. Night Train. I've never tried that citrus wine. I've been tempted, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I might do. We all need to rise above drinking Mogan David 2020. We have a perverse attachment to badness, though. It's my favorite drink, and that and King Cobra. King Cobra. I do like that. This is candy sugar. It's got to be. It's just got to be Sir Malcolm. You say, was it refined and intricate? No and no. It's sugary and cheap smelling, but not bad. Not bad. But like, do you really buy Scotch whiskey so you can smell sugar candy, or like candy sugar? Like, I swear, I'm serious. You go and you buy the sugar and you start mixing it with water and heat, and then it gets candy like syrupy. Oh, you say, oh, they're using corn syrup to distill into grain whiskey. I'm really starting to believe that. I'm starting to believe that they're not using corn, like pounding it with the hammer as it dried, into the grits. They're taking a shortcut and using just syrup. It's corn. United States Department of Agriculture. Yeah, like they're doing that. I like to smoke a J. I hope that's a cigarette. And I have a beer for breakfast. I just smoked a J too. Yeah, well, when it's late in the evening. Da, 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 da. When it's late in the morning and you're doing an examination. Da, da, da. I was smelling all this candy sugar, and then I went and reached my left hand. I smelled something better than that, like whiskey. There's no way. Now, I'm not going to get on the internet here and say that this smells like it's some wonderful product. But it is in a relative sense. Sing it, Ron. All right. Well, the Scotch whiskey and reunion. All right, now stop. Me and Cutty Sark down by the schoolyard. All right. All right. Stop. When you're looped up, feeling down. All right. Okay. Stop. No. All right. It's got to be. Dyed your beer blue. Yeah. Blue oyster. I dyed my beer blue oyster cult. This is the time when water starts to burn. This is the time when the old gods return. Just when we were so confident in ourselves. All right, I'm going to call it. This has got to be Cutty Sark, and if I'm wrong, I'll feel like a fool. No, it's Cutty Sark. Just kidding. There is no way you're going to confuse him. I almost called it Malcolm X Scotch whiskey. Malcolm X Scotch whiskey. Oh, that pale white color. That pale white color. Next thing, I'll be calling it Malcolm Little Scotch whiskey. Malcolm Little. And Elijah Poole Scotch whiskey. I'm a card shark. I'm a bookie. But in New Orleans, I was Mr. Rothstein. All right. How could you ever confuse Sir Malcolm for Cutty Sark? The answer is clear. You never could. My mom liked red blue. My mom liked red blue oyster cult. Don't fear the reaper, says Joseph Sedbury. Yeah. All right, ladies, fish, and gentlemen. If we go to the Four Winds bar, we can drink these and we will never get them confused. Oh, he said liked. Oh, Susie dear, you will never think Sir Malcolm is the same as the Curse of the Hidden Mirror, Cutty Sark. Is Sir Malcolm a bad product? Is Sir Malcolm a bad product? Millions of drunks and alcoholics would say no. Why do they have these gold medals on here? Has it ever won awards? I'm thinking that it has never been entered in competition. But you know how these kind of underlings do? You know how these like bottom dwellers do? They try to present themselves as something that they aren't. Like it's real, like, oh, this fine blend of citrus wine makes up the intricate flavor of Night Train. Yeah. Or the one that gets me the most is the Crystal Palace gin. Oh, it's so quaint. Yikes. It's like Crystal Palace gin. 9 out of 10 street drunks testify by Crystal Palace gin. I like Crystal Palace. I like the gall that it has to present itself as a, you know, Crystal Palace has, I don't want to get into that. All right. How much is that whiskey? How much is that whiskey in the window? Oh, yeah. Cutty Sark is about 14 bucks a bottle, which is fair. And Sir Malcolm is about $9.99 a bottle, which is expected. Cutty Sark wins. It's the clear winner. It is worth the extra $5. There's no argument here. You know, I don't know what's going on with Sir Malcolm. I don't care what's going on with Sir Malcolm. It's grain whiskey. It's grain alcohol. Basically, it's got about, I guess there's some kind of limit. I don't know if there's a limit. I've never read the Scottish. Is there a limit on how much ratio it has to be, column still to single malt? You know, in the United States, it's 80-20. The lowest you can go away from straight bourbon in a blended American whiskey is 20%. So think about that for a minute. 80% grain alcohol and 20% single malt, straight Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It gets dicey at that point, really. So I'm thinking Sir Malcolm is hitting all the minimum requirements, the minimum. And I don't know what those are, except for that it has to be aged 3 years. So I don't hate it. Would I buy it again? Yeah, no, I would never buy it again. I mean, unless Walmart had it for $5. I mean, then you gotta buy it. But nah, I wouldn't buy it. No. I'm just kidding. Being dramatic. Oh no. Huh. Seemed like that took about a month off my life. All right. Joseph says, do you like Canadian Mist? I think Canadian Mist is similar to this, Sir Malcolm. although that's coming from Brown-Forman, the producers of Jack Daniels, in the sense that it's like grain alcohol. It's very light. It's double dipped. Like if you watch their videos, they basically say Canadian Mist is like taking tea and making tea, and then you take the bag and you reuse it to make a second cup of tea, which means what? It's going to be very bland and watery, which is what they explain on the website. It's designed to be. And it must work because it's one of the most popular Canadian whiskeys in the world, Canadian Mist. So personally, I find it's too bland and watery and dull. On the other hand, I give them credit. It's designed to be exactly what it is. It's light to the extreme. It is 80 proof, though, and it's an ultimate mixer. It's not a standalone sipper. Of course, if you look at every single advertisement in a magazine that Canadian Mist ever posted in 52 years, it says that it is for mixed drinks. So you would be a fool to say, I did it as a neat drink and it was kind of dull. Yeah, and I take exception to that. Well, why don't you read what it's produced to be. Sir Malcolm is obviously produced to be a mixed drink. And who's going to mix it? You know it. You know who's going to mix it. They got off of work. At their blue collar job. Yeah, I'm going to stereotype now because I believe in those things. They came home. On the way home, they bought a 2-liter of Coke. Nah. They bought a 2-liter of store brand cola, some Surefine cola or Czech or a Best Choice cola. Yeah, you know what they bought. Great Value cola. Ouch. They poured some of that in a glass with some ice, and they poured some Sir Malcolm in a glass with some ice, and they took their finger and they mixed it around while they were watching champagne cocktails. And they drank it, and that's the realm in which it exists. So yeah, it's got its place. I don't necessarily want to be in that place, but it's got its place. Okay. I like the cheap alcohol, says Joseph. Nothing wrong with that. Hayes says alcohol versus alcohol, get drunk versus get drunk. And they're joking around, not really joking. But you see, that's the point of this video. There is a place for this stuff. And somebody asked me yesterday, he said, I figured you out. He said, you're just into brands. All you want to do is just study brands. I bet when you were in high school, you had some kind of fixation upon consumer product brands. I said, you outed me. And you just want to look at different brands and talk about how they are relative to other brands. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You nailed it down. And I'm guilty of it, and I'll admit to it, but I'll be the first to admit it. And if that's a problem for you, I can't make, you're not required to watch the channel. Joseph says, I'm not picky. I love Great Value soda. See? I like looking for the best of the cheap, says GNJK. See, there's a whole video viewer world. I am in some ways, people say, I watched your videos. You mean in a big way? Okay. I did have a little background mindset to go to CVS Pharmacy and buy their luxurious grand. Oh, yeah, it's $9.99 for a huge bottle of blended American whiskey. What is that stuff called? Oh, it's Grand something. GRAN, Grand Legacy. Grand Legacy. Yeah, Grand Legacy. Yeah, American blended whiskey with flavors added. Sounds lovely. Lovely. But then I can't help it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it.